There's a spot over here and a spot over there. Lots of little spots in the air.
Everywhere!
It's a Proverbs 31 kind of day.
Yay!
Hey!
Welcome, Jess.
And welcome, Sam.
And welcome all the Proverbs 31 ladies
to 8THIRSTY. We have been so busy being little women, making our flax,
At the distaff.
dyeing it with turmeric.
It does look like turmeric dyed yarn.
Doesn't it? It's incredible.
Just from Kmart though, so.
Samantha,
Probably not.
it's a prop. It's a prop for today.
It's a prop for Proverbs.
And you are wearing an apron?
I'm wearing a beautiful apron with
We must
beautiful...
see it.
Look how cute it is with its little windmills.
Oh, it is super cute. That
where I got it from.
is amazing. Well, I've noticed already some work that I must do as a Proverbs 31 woman.
Oh, you've got some stitching up to do.
Those little moths, the cedar balls might not have worked.
Well, holes randomly come in clothes in Queensland, I think.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Just randomly there'll be
Random.
holes in the clothes and you're like,
What happened there?
It's very mothy country.
Perhaps, yes. That's okay. There's always a way to fix it. Bay leaves.
I don't want to waste my organic bay leaves.
That's why we grow them, Samantha. So how are you out there, ladies? We're up to the absolute last chapter in Proverbs.
Why are you sounding like a school teacher? I think it's a scarf.
Is that
It makes you
right?
feel like a real lady, doesn't it?
I'm such a lady. Well, I have a lot of lady growing to do still. I'm not such a lady.
We all need to grow more.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's read the words of King Lemuel.
Proverbs chapter 31. The words of King Lemuel. The prophecy that his mother taught him.
What, my son, and what the son of my womb, and what the son of my vows?
Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings.
It is not for kings, O Lemuel, it is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes strong drink.
Lest they drink and forget the law, and pervert the judgment of any of the afflicted.
Give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish, and wine unto those that be of heavy hearts.
Let him drink and forget his poverty, and remember his misery no more.
Open thy mouth for the dumb in the cause of all such as are appointed to destruction.
Open thy mouth, judge righteously, and plead the cause of the poor and needy.
Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies.
The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil.
She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life.
That's beautiful. She seeketh wool and flax, and worketh willingly with her hands.
She is like the merchant's ships. She bringeth her food from afar.
She riseth early. Sorry. Let's not make the words up. She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household and a portion to her maidens.
She considereth a field and buyeth it. With the fruit of her hands she planteth a vineyard.
She girdeth her loins with strength, and strengtheneth her arms.
She perceiveth that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth not out by night.
She layeth her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff.
She stretcheth out her hand to the poor. Yea, she reacheth forth her hands to the needy.
She is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet.
She maketh herself coverings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple.
Her husband is known in the gates, when he sitteth among the elders of the land.
She maketh fine linen and selleth it. And delivereth girdles unto the merchant.
Strength and honour are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come.
She openeth her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness.
She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness.
Her children arise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praiseth her.
Many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excellest them all.
Favour is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised.
Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. Her own works praise her, not herself.
This is like You know, like yesterday's chapter 30, this is like just the summary, isn't it? So if you hadn't read all the other things and you read this, you're like, oh yeah, cool, that's wise, that's good, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
But without all the detail that's gone into the previous chapters, you can miss how important these little one-liners are in Proverbs 31, I think.
Because the foundation has been building up
Yeah.
to this, which really is the epitome of what wisdom actually is. But we start off talking to the son.
But he's talking, yeah?
Yeah.
The words of King Lemuel.
That's right. And the prophecy that his mother taught him. And she's reminding him that to stay away from women.
Yeah.
Like, don't give your strength. Like Samson actually did.
Yes.
Don't give your strength to women. You need to be strong in the ways of the Lord.
Yeah.
And a warning about alcohol and
Yep.
being a slave to alcohol.
Yep.
Because when you drink, you forget your poverty and remember your misery no more. But if you have been living the will of God, a strong life, why would you need to worry about poverty and misery?
And if you're content with your position and you don't desire any more than you have,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, you
The envy. Who can stand it?
That's
Remember
right.
we read that
That's right.
verse? Okay.
open thy mouth, judge righteously, plead the cause of the poor and needy. We've already talked about why that's so important.
Yeah. And we are going to continue to work out how we actually do that in a life that we're living today.
Yep.
Who can find? Who can find?
Well, I don't know.
It's like, where's Wally?
It's like there's none good, no, not one.
I've got an idea. I don't know if it's a good idea. We could recreate a Where's Wally. We have so many artists in our little families. Everyone could do a different page of their own style, and they need to hide a virtuous woman, and you need to find the virtuous woman in the page.
Okay.
What do you reckon?
I feel like that's a work of a lifetime.
Yeah. And you could use what's coming next as clues as to where to find her.
Next to the wool and flax.
Yeah. That's
Her
right.
husband doth safely trust in her.
What
He
does
shall have...
doth mean?
Does?
Do it. Yeah.
Does?
Yeah.
Does safely trust in her. So he shall have no need of spoil.
Oh, that's great.
So he doesn't need to go off and steal things. Is that what spoil is? That's, the spoils of war.
He trusts her that she's going to steward things well.
Yeah.
So there's not going to be things going off as well. Like, imagine your husband is working really hard, bringing home the goods or the money for the goods. And then you're just like, huh.
Yeah.
But when you do good for him and not evil, he doesn't have to think about the need of spoil.
You're a good team together.
Oh, yeah. I'm
She could
continually
do him
learning
good.
about that.
That's great.
Like, I have a lot of learning to do.
About spoiling food.
Oh, not so much just that, but just like how to be a really good steward with everything that God's entrusted with me, and not to feel overwhelmed by it, because we shouldn't feel overwhelmed, but just that practical outworking of being a virtuous woman.
It's a lot, isn't it?
But it's not out of what it's not just the
not
fruit of what we
impossible.
do. It comes from the fear of the Lord, and we read that at the end.
It's like studying to show yourself approved. You do it, but you don't imagine that one day you're going to have studied enough to know it all.
To then not study, to close the book and say,
we're
well,
not going to know
I
it
know
all
it.
until
No.
the end.
That's right.
And the same as being a virtuous woman. Like we're going to be practicing it all our lives.
That's correct.
We're never going to get there and go, yay, I get the Virtuous Woman Award now.
No. It's a continual, beautiful goal. She's like the merchant ships, bringing her food from afar.
But why is she, in verse 15, just waking everyone up? They're all asleep.
Time
She's
to
like,
eat some
meat! Here's your meat. Just some people open the curtains and say, rise and shine. You just get a steak in your face.
Seasoned with salt and pepper. I don't do that, but maybe there's a way that we can practically say, smoothie time.
Meat smoothie?
No thanks. But it's reminding you don't be lazy, and you don't have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning every morning because this is telling it's not a religious thing.
That'd be a waste of electricity.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. But she's working hard, and this is talking not just about a woman. This is reminding us what wisdom does. Wisdom is always working. Really.
And it's not just talking about meat, because there's food of all kinds to be gathered. She considereth a field and buyeth it.
With the fruit of her hands, she planteth a vineyard.
Amazing.
Yeah, that means
That's
that
like
your
you,
hands...
Jess. You're always saving seeds.
Oh, I do love it. Do you want to know my latest?
What?
I just did a harvest of blue butterfly
Aw.
pea seeds, and they will be available from your naturopath clinic. Did you know that?
Cute. Well, I know now.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah,
So you
'cause
can
they're hard to
you
get.
can buy seeds.
You can buy seeds from your clinic.
Great. You can buy seeds from my clinic, everybody.
Yeah. We can also post them to you. They are an incredible, they fix the soil with nitrogen,
Beautiful.
and they also look beautiful. They attract beautiful pollinators to your garden, and tell us about the flowers.
They colour things blue. That's cool.
You
There's not
put-
many things in nature that do that.
That's right, indigo.
Indigo, blue butterfly pea.
Yeah, and you can eat it. So what you can do is dry the flowers, grind them into a powder. You've got blue powder for your smoothies. What?
Amazing
Say
blue
what?
smoothies.
It's incredible. Anyway, that is what you can plant if you desire. What else have we got in here?
Wow, what haven't we got?
Loins.
I've never seen a woman girding her loins. I always think
With
of
strength.
men doing that.
How does that work? Is that just making your legs strong?
Isn't it? I thought girding your loins was when you wrap something around you.
With strength?
Yeah, like
She's
a girdle.
strengthening her loins and her arms.
Yeah.
So
girded
she's
her
making them
loins.
strong. It's good to be strong because
Yeah.
how are you meant to do all these things if you're a frail little weak?
Imagine doing your
pale
washing without a
thing.
washing machine.
Well, that's what
That's-
they did.
That's getting your strength in your arms.
Move over CrossFit.
Oh, and what about kneading dough?
Oh, wow. That's a workout. Absolutely.
That's why she can then reach forth her hands to the needy, because she's strengthened them up.
That's beautiful.
Not afraid of snow. She's clothing everyone.
She's got her candle that's not going out by night.
She maketh herself coverings of tapestry.
That's talent. That's incredible.
Well, that's not just having, not just doing the bare minimum.
No.
That's making things beautiful also.
Wow. And that's the richness of wisdom. Wisdom has so many layers, Sam. We've been reading this from Proverbs 1, the layer upon layer of wisdom that's reminding you, sometimes exactly the same verse will repeat in another chapter,
Yep.
saying, put this in the tapestry.
Amazing.
It'll make it strong.
Amazing.
Yeah.
She maketh fine linen. That's a fair job as well, isn't
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Imagine.
Yeah, it's one thing to go and buy fine linen. That's hard enough to find a really good source of fine linen. But to make it,
Yeah.
look that up, how difficult that is from
Yeah,
scratch.
yeah.
This takes dedication. And this is telling us again, if you want wisdom, it's
Work.
going to take work.
Yep.
That's what Proverbs 31's talking about. Investing into yourself and your walk with the Lord by studying to show yourself approved, so you're not going to be ashamed.
But also fostering the gifts you've been given.
Yeah.
And the talents that you might not even have, actually. Learning skills that will help you to
Yes.
wisely provide for your family.
That our great times 20 grandparents would have known how to do.
Spinning on a wheel.
Yeah,
That's cool fun.
super cool. Okay, she openeth her mouth with wisdom.
Yeah.
Wow.
Don't you love how this particular proverb isn't doing the contrast of the bad thing and then the wise thing?
Yeah.
We've learned all those things.
Wow.
It should be cemented in here by now, and this is just focusing on
Yeah.
what is the positive side of what this woman does.
The outworking of it. The perfect man. Almost like when we're reading in Philemon. Romans is foundational,
Yeah.
and it gets us all the way to our walk as a someone that's saved by grace, by faith, Romans to Philemon,
Mm-hmm.
Proverbs 1 to 31 is talking us through.
Yeah.
And now we have the epitome of wisdom
Amazing.
as a woman. Wow. How about favor is deceitful and beauty is vain?
Yeah.
Having favor. How many followers do you have on Instagram? How many followers do you have on Twitter? How many people follow you around? How many people are calling you? How many missed calls? How many emails?
Oh, wow.
How many people love you, send you gifts?
Wow.
All this favor. It's actually all deceitful. It doesn't actually tell you your real worth. You only get your real worth through knowing who God is. That's what is not deceitful.
Do you know what it reminds me of? Have you heard of pretty privilege?
No.
This is a thing that's going around a little bit at the moment. There's lots of people talking about how if you're pretty, you get things like favor just naturally happens to you. Like you get better jobs. People are nicer to you. People open doors for you, etc.
Right.
But that is deceitful, isn't it?
It is deceitful.
Shallow.
Yep. Beauty is vain.
It is.
But there is a but there. A woman that feareth the Lord. Now remember, we've already read about this. What's the beginning of wisdom?
Fear of the Lord.
That's where it begins. A woman that fears the Lord, she shall be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. May your own works praise you, Samantha.
Same to you, Jess.
Amen.
And if people come to my gates and say, these are beautiful blue butterfly pea seeds, that'll be your praise that you're getting in the gates. That'll be the work of your hands.
And that will also be the praise of the Lord because he created them in the beginning.
Proverbs 31.
Beautiful.
It's done.
What a blessing Proverbs is. We need some wise merchandise now. We need to make our own wise merchandise to remind ourselves.
Imagine if we made fine linen and it was dyed with blue butterfly pea. Or, you know, when you do the pressing of the flower on there.
And you use a little hammer
Wow.
and smash it in, and however the mordant keeps that in the fabric.
That would be a beautiful thing to do.
If you've got little ladies out there, they might not be your children, they might be friends of yours, they might be related, whatever. Why not do a little gathering where you talk about what wisdom is? Teach them the simplicity but complexity of fearing the Lord, and do something like what we just talked about. Something with your hands to show them that the work of their hands should glorify the Lord.
So good. So good.
Precious. Well, macrame awaits.
As does the dusting. A woman's work is never done. That's what we say.
And you know what?
Shout out to Lachey.
We wouldn't want it any other way. We love being a woman.
That's right. This wisdom that we're seeking is never going to be sought in this earthly plane.
No.
We've got other knowledge waiting for us.
That's right. So we're going to keep digging. We would love to hear from you. We also are about to venture into Psalms. I think we're going to sing our way through Psalms. That's the aim. So stay tuned for that. Bless you.
Bless you.
Stay thirsty for the word of God. Signing out.
Bye-bye.